What's going on, guys? I'm gonna get this live started. Just a second. I'm just getting myself situated. Why every time I get ready to go live, I gotta get better at this, guys. It seems like every time I go live, there's some type of issue. Mm-mm-mm. Can you guys hear me okay? I'm trying to get it together, man. Just be patient with me for a second. I see you. PKGIF. Yes, sir. Salute, brother. Salute. I'm trying to get it together, man. Just be patient with me for a second. Arbuckle and EJ need to get on the ball. You're right. You're right. I'm still trying to just get this where I can actually see. I see y'all's comments, but I have to go to my page to do it. I don't know what the deal is. It'd be all right. We'll just flip back and forth and figure it out. How about that? Let's go ahead and get this live started, man. Um, I wanted to do this live because I just want to. One thing with my channel, I like to really engage with people in the comments and just respond to you guys. I don't want you guys to get in my comments and feel like you're talking to yourself. So I try to take the time out of my very busy schedule because, like I've said before, I do work a full time job and still reply to those comments just because I feel it's important, man. I'll never get to the point to where I feel like I'm too big to engage with you guys. If you guys are going to take the time out to type a comment, I'm going to take as much time as possible to respond. So this is really just me showing love back to you guys because you show love to me and letting you know that I truly appreciate it. Welcome in, everyone. I see more people coming in. Welcome in. So we're gonna get to the live stream. Not haven't reached 1,000 subscribers yet, so I don't have a super chat. So I'm gonna try to read all of them. I don't care. Let's try to read all of them. Let's get it going, man. I do want to go back and talk about some of the comments um, that I have received in some of the videos. But let's go ahead and recognize some of the people in the chat. Sooner Cowboy, thank you for coming through. Mysterious Black 629, yes sir, salute brother, thank you for coming through. Um, let's go ahead and get to these comments on this last video. I hope you guys enjoyed that last video. I was a little riled up, man. Do understand that usually when I do these videos, I don't plan to get riled up. My girlfriend usually tells me take it down a notch, and I try to do that. But when I get on the subject, man, I just get so freaking fired up. Uh, so that's where that comes from, and it's not planned, it's not rehearsed. The most I do is take some notes on my little whiteboard that I keep next to my desk, just to give you guys an insight on my process. I'll take some notes on my whiteboard, so I'm not scrolling through while I'm talking, and I'll just kind of read some of those notes. But me getting fired up and stuff like that, it's not scripted. It's genuine. No faking. You know what it is, man. We're not gonna fake through that stuff. Let's start off with some comments from the last video. If you're a winner, Slam 4455. He said, if you're a winner, you don't need your own players. You can coach any player to be a winner. That's what Indiana's coach staff just showed in the world. And he's Jesus Christ, I'm still getting over this cold. He is 100% correct. People have gotten in my comments and said you got to give Ben Arbuckle time to get his guys in. What does his guys mean? He came over with his quarterback. We have very capable wide receivers. Isaiah Satania doing a hell of a job. Deion Burks, I hate to see that he got lost in the mix. We actually thought that we were going to lose him. I don't know if you guys saw the video where he went into Brent Venables' office and handed in the jersey, and Brent Venables looked dejected, but he was really just changing numbers. I know he probably wish he turned that jersey in. The running backs, the offensive line, yes, we have had some offensive line injuries. It's the nature of the beast. But we had two freshmen to step up and play at the tackle positions, and they've done a wonderful job. So it's not a matter of getting his guys in. Coach the guys that you have. This is the University of Oklahoma. I had another video where I went over our recruiting classes. We're not ranked 50th in recruiting. This isn't where you came into a situation and the cupboard was bare. You came into a pretty good situation considering what we had last year with all the injuries that we had on the offensive line and the wide receiver part, wide receiver side of the football. So, that's not an excuse that's acceptable for me. I don't accept many excuses regardless. Low slow flyer 77. RPO is like a headhunter in going to feints and I can't read to feints to the body and always aiming for the head. Never takes the legs of the opponent. So we talked about the RPO in the video before. Whenever you're running an RPO, those guys come off the ball as if it's a run and then they pass block. So it's almost like a draw blocking scheme. I don't know if y'all know a draw or delay. They start off passing and then they hand the ball off. So essentially what you try to do is you get the defensive ends to rush up field and then you run underneath. RPO is different. Was sort of the same. With an RPO, you're trying to fake the run to get those guys to the linebackers to step up, and you can throw slants behind them, which is okay. And it's a tool that can be used, but it should not be part of your primary run game. And that's one of the problems I had with Jeff Levy because every play was pretty much an RPO. He gave the ride look on every play. Even if it wasn't a run play. We were faking the run. You're not faking nobody out, bro. You throw the ball 40 times a game. Who you faking out with that nonsense? The RPO is a good tool to use. But when you're using the RPO, you have to have told me the story that you were going to run the ball first. Indiana used an RPO, but they ran the ball first. You can't play action fake me if you've never run the football. I'm not going to fall for it. You didn't give me a reason to step up. So coaches that are doing that, it's lazy football to me because instead of calling plays, you're just running RPO and then giving your wide receivers routes. And you're putting it all on the quarterback, making him count. And people wonder why John Mateer is not seeing the field. John Mateer is not processing everything that he needs to process in RPO in a timely manner. I'm sorry about the cough, guys. My apologies. Um, let's see. We got some more people that just came in. SPN 915533. Keep doing your thing. Great podcast. Love listening. Hey, I appreciate the love, man. Humphrey MC Gito 249. OU without a run game is historically embarrassing. It is. It is. Um, it's it is, man. And I'm gonna be honest with you. We started to see this during the Bob Stoops era. I hate to say it, and I love Bob, but we started to see it with some of the quarterbacks, Sam Bradford, and some of the success that they were having, that we were moving away from the run a lot more. After Adrian Peterson, I mean, there was times that we had when we had Joe Mixon and Samaje Perine. If we got them two, I shouldn't be yelling at the TV to run the football, but it's what it is, man. Um, Go back and read some of these comments at the top. Need to get on the ball. Former LSU running back Caden Durham hit the transfer portal. Hopefully he comes back to OU. Yeah, he was initially between us and LSU. I don't know. I made the comment that a lot of times we don't get those type of kids. Um, I don't know the kid personally, but I do try to make some of those games when I can. You know what? I'm gonna leave that alone. I don't even want to go into that. If not Durham, go after a 5-star running back that hit the portal from Ohio State. He went to high school in Texas. He will be closer to home. But this was actually part of what I was going to get to. We had an offer out, from what I heard, a substantial offer to Cam Coleman. But when On3 did their video talking about where he was visiting and some of his possible suitors, they never mentioned the University of Oklahoma. I'm going to tell you a couple of reasons why. Top-notch running backs and wide receivers do not want to play in this system. Let's start with the running back position first. Why would you want to come to the University of Oklahoma? If I'm a running back and my goal is to go to the NFL, I need carries. I need touchdowns. I need to show what I can do. But if I'm only going to get 8 to 10 carries a game, I'm not showing anything. It's bad enough that we like to split carries between running backs, which is fine if you got 15 carries for one running back and 15 carries for another running back. But when you got 8 carries for one running back, 10 carries for another running back, and then John Mateer gets 15 carries, why the would I want to come to the University of Oklahoma as a top-notch running back? They don't want to come here. I'm surprised that DeMarco Murray is still getting the recruits out of high school that he's getting. I was surprised when we got Taylor Tatum. If I was being honest and I was Taylor Tatum, I would have never came to the University of Oklahoma, because the writing was on the wall that we don't run the football. We didn't really run the football with Jeff Levy. We didn't really run the football with old dummy that left. I drew a blank there. And we hadn't run the football on a consistent basis with our running backs this past year. So why would a running back want to come here? As far as Cam Coleman being a wide receiver, you look back at Alabama, they would usually have 3 wide receivers and a tight end. When Nick Saban was there, they didn't run a lot of 5 wide, because they were running the football. So you had Julio Jones and you had all these wide receivers that were coming out of Alabama, and they top wide receivers in the nation going to Ohio State, because Ohio State doesn't run a 5 wide system. Because wide receivers know, if we get a run game going, I can get some one-on-one opportunities to showcase what I can do. That's what this is all about, being able to showcase what you can do. But when you run a 5 wide set, you get lost in the mix. You get lost in the attempts, because there are 4 other wide receivers they're trying to get the ball to. They're not in a 5 wide system. You're not really drawing up a play for a specific receiver. You might have a drag, a dig, another drag, a backside post, and you're reading the defense. Other than a screen, we don't necessarily draw up too many plays for a single player. So why would they want to come here? Look at Deion Burke's numbers on the year. Deion Burke should have had a way better year than what he had. So instead of going out and recruiting 5 wide receivers every recruiting class, how about we load up on linemen, load up on running backs, and run the football? You don't need 5 wide receivers every recruiting class. But that's my take on why a lot of high value wide receivers and running backs are not going to want to come here in the transfer portal. Okay, moving on. Watch the Under Armour game. Jake Crew Jones had a nice game. Yeah, so Jake Creel, however you pronounce his name. Let me tell you something, guys. I'm a pretty good evaluator in talent when it comes to high school football. My specialty is really quarterbacks, quarterback play. I used to do a thing on Facebook where I would talk about the quarterbacks going into the draft and who was going to be good and who was not going to be good. I give you a take that I had a couple of years ago. Rest in peace, Dwayne Haskins. But I had a take on Dwayne Haskins, and I'll probably post it on my YouTube channel, where I pretty much said that Dwayne Haskins was not going to be good in the NFL, and he would be out of the league in 3 years. I talked about his body type when he was at the combine. I talked about his diet and his work ethic and how soft he was as far as his body type. And I said that he wouldn't be in the league past 3 years. And a lot of people told me I was crazy. Of course. Mel Kiper's telling you that he's a first-round pick, so who the hell is David Kincaid to be telling you that this kid that played Ohio State was pretty good is not going to be good in the NFL? Guess what? He wasn't very good his first year. He was on the bench his second year, and then his third year, he was pretty much out of the league, and hate to say it, but he passed away. But Jake Creel, that's a player. He is so twitchy, it's ridiculous. Some of the moves that I saw him pull off in just their practice, oh my God. He will play next year for the University of Oklahoma. He will be on the field. You better believe it. There's no way we're keeping him off the field. And as far as the defensive end spots go, with a lot of the talent that we had, PJ Adebawore should have another year in getting better. Dang it, drew a quick blank. But our other defensive end this year that was Taylor Wine, that played very well. He'll be getting even better. And then we with Creel and the other kid that's be a junior this coming up year that got some run this year, the kid out of Oklahoma that went to homeschool. Drew a blank on his name, but our defensive end class is going to be just fine. I know they're looking at a couple in the transfer portal, but we'll be just fine in that aspect. But yes, Creel is an amazing talent, man. He should be a first rounder. The way he moves is ridiculous. We got another closer. We really do. Uh, Mysterious Black said I liked it and I co-signed with everything you said. The only way we get better, get back at actual Oklahoma football is running the football. Period. We have to run the football, guys. Y'all know me. I've been on it. I've been on it. I've been on it. There's really no other way to go across it. We have to run the football. We have to. You can't reinvent the wheel. If you look at the teams that just recently lost this past weekend in Alabama, and I said it. I said Alabama was going to get destroyed. I was talking with Jason from Hall of Fame Sports. We was texting. He told me I was crazy. I said, yeah, I heard that before. But Alabama fans, if there's any in here, guys, y'all not going to win a national championship with Kalen DeBoer. And I feel the same way about Ben Arbuckle. Guys, I'm sorry. I hate to be a Debbie Downer. We're not going to win a national title with Ben Arbuckle unless he changes his thought process and his systems. And that's something that's very hard for coaches to do. I've been around coaches, and whatever they learned first, that is the Bible to them. And I just wasn't that guy. I was the guy that wanted to learn all the systems and take out what I could from each one for different situations. There is a situation for 5 wide receivers, but it's not after a 12-yard run. That is not the damn situation for 5 wide receivers. And the damn show ain't on the goal line. So I don't have faith that Ben Arbuckle is going to change his skis as far as his scheme. I have no faith in it, man. If he does, I'll be the first one to applaud him. I promise you. I was telling my girlfriend, I said I hate when I have to come on here and give one of my fiery rant videos, but for some reason, those are the videos that get the most attention. And it's not because of y'all. It's because of the people that's probably never watched my channel. They saw that Oklahoma lost and they probably see the thumbnail and probably think I'm about to go crazy. And they're right. And so that's why they watch it. It's entertaining to them. And especially my Texas video. I got a lot of Texas fans that came over here and wanted to troll. It's all right. It's cool, man. We lost. But I have no faith that he's going to do that. Crimson X360, he said, I like you fired up. Real honesty comes out. Yeah, man. Like I said at the beginning, that's never planned. It's just me. Um, I, I'm a competitor, man. I know y'all don't know much about me, but um, joined the military fresh out of high school. I played high school football in Louisiana, Alabama, and Oklahoma, and I was the kid that transferred from Mobile, Alabama. I went to Murphy High School to Enid, Oklahoma, because I wanted to play where all my uncles played football at. And the first practice, I smacked a dude, like, and they started calling me Bama. But a lot of the guys didn't like me because they had a culture of just kind of joking around and playing around in practice. But I'm coming from Alabama football. I didn't have that mindset. I had the mindset of iron sharpens iron. And if I want to get better and I want my teammates to get better, we have to get after it. And those guys didn't have that mindset, but it quickly changed after a couple of weeks of me there because I'm making a short story long, but we lost homecoming my junior year, and everybody wanted to go out and party, and I was tearing up the locker room pissed. Because they wanted to go out and party, and I didn't understand it, man. So yeah, I'm a competitor. I played football. Also played high school basketball. I ran track. I hated baseball because I kept getting hit with the ball. I boxed for 16 years. I did MMA. Um, I I was always one of the best shooters in the Army whenever we did qualifying and stuff like that. I've just always been a competitor. I play chess. I'm just a nonstop competitor, and I hate to lose. So that's where that fired up stuff comes from, man. Because it's I see stuff going on the field that doesn't make sense, and I can't do anything about it. So it's upsetting. The video, and this is PKGIMF 9767. The video analyzing of the Indiana-Bama game was the undeniable proof of what's being said all season about, oh, you needed to run the football. It was, and I hope you guys really got a lot of that, got a lot out of that. Um, just running the football, man. I can't give any more proof, man. It's the proof is in the pudding, man. I've given example after example after example, situation after situation, and it's the proof is there. Um, we got to get somebody in here that's gonna run the football. Sooner Cowboys 706 is kind of crazy. The way BV came in and he said he wanted to be a physical football team. Nothing about the offense was physical at all. So you're absolutely correct. And I actually had a thought today. And a lot of this stuff that I'm gonna talk to you guys about today in this live, I'm gonna go back and do a more in-depth video later, so you guys can kind of see this as a sneak peek also. And I want to do this more often. I'm probably gonna do it every Saturday. So once I do a video during the week, I'll come on every Saturday, probably about 7 o'clock, and I will just kind of go through the comments and we'll just kind of review some of this stuff that we talked about through the week. But the thought that I had in one of the videos that I want to do is Brent Venables and Lincoln Riley. What's the difference? What's the difference? I know there was a lot of people that because on my shorts I talked about Brent Venables not knowing offense, and I knew there was going to get a reaction out of a lot of people that were going to tell me I was crazy. But if he knew offense so well, why is our offense so bad? You would think that the great mind that Lincoln Riley is, he would know defense. But why was our defense so bad? Because BV knows how to stop offense. Lincoln Riley knows how to score on the defense. But they never went to the other side of the football to get any knowledge. Why? And that's the next step that Brent Venables has to take if he wants to be a great coach. Nick Saban took those steps. That's why he was able to do what he did. He was able to still coach, because I used to watch their videos. I'm not an Alabama fan, guys, but understand I played in the state of Alabama. So, and I like coaches that are winners, that know what they're doing. I love Brent Venables, but I do have an affection for Nick Saban because what he accomplished. I think we all do. There's a respect there. But you would see him coaching the DBs, which you would also see him getting an offensive coordinator's butt if things weren't done the way that he knew it should be done in order to be successful. So Brent Venables has got to get on that, man. He's got to get on that. Let's see. Who's your offensive coordinator pick if we had a redo? I know that Clemson's offensive coordinator had gotten axed, but he was on my video. Well, I'm gonna take. So he was on my video, but the coach that's at Virginia right now, I can't think of his name right now. I've been at work all day, guys, so forgive me if I'm drawing blanks or some of this stuff. But the coach that's at Virginia, he was in my video, and I said that Brent Venables should have went and got one of those guys, because my criteria was you either need to be an NFL offensive coordinator or some NFL experience, have won a national title, and at coach that's at Virginia, he was a co-offensive coordinator with the coordinator that just got fired from Clemson. So those two guys, one was still at Clemson, so I knew we weren't going to get him. So you need to have won a national title, or you need to be under the Nick Saban coaching tree. And if you look at the coaches that have been under the Nick Saban coaching tree as offensive coordinators, they're all doing well. Lane Kiffin just got a brand new shiny job at LSU, and Steve Sarkisian at Texas. One of those three criteria, not young up and coming. Because you know what young up and coming do? They don't have the experience, and B, they don't adjust. Remember, we talked earlier in this live about coaches that learn their first system and it's the Bible to them, instead of going out and learning everything. I don't know how many welders we have in here, but there's more than just one way to weld. So if you just go learn one way to weld and then a job needs something else, you're probably not going to get that job. So go and learn everything about offense. It is ridiculous to me that, and we kept seeing it, and I was yelling, I was bawling inside because I don't know if y'all remember, but we had last year the debacle that we had. They were lining up in the full house formation, which is pretty much the quarterback, two running backs, or diamond formation, and a running back behind. So you got three backs in the backfield, and then they were all motion out to 5 wide. Why? What's the point of that? You're not tricking anybody when you do it every play. I saw Ben Arbuckle doing that crap this last game, and I hate it. There's no reason to do that. Where did you get that from last year and thought it was a good idea? He hadn't done that crap all season, but he decided to do it this last game against Alabama. So he has two recent situations that he could have looked at. How did we beat Alabama last year? We ran 50 times a game. Okay, this year we beat Alabama, but the offense didn't do crap with the game plan that he had. So if you look at those two cases and you go back and say, this is the team that I'm playing, and these are the two recent examples that I have, which one were we more successful at offensively? Was it lining up in the diamond formation and motion out to 5 wide receivers? Hell no. But he did it anyway. So, guys, that's why I can't get on the Ben Arbuckle bandwagon, because none of it makes sense to me whatsoever. He said, PKG IMF said that should be hurting, don't it? Yeah, it do. It do. Sooners Cowboys, because McTeer couldn't or wouldn't throw the football. So, another story about that. I was coaching I got deployed in 2014. I was in Lawton, Oklahoma. I got deployed. And I came back from deployment, and there was this team called the Grave Diggers. They hadn't won a game in 2 years. And so I knew the owner of the team, and I told him, I said, I wanted to coach. He said, all right, come out, you meet the other coaches. The other coaches didn't show up to the tryouts. They weren't showing up to practice. He ended up making me the head coach. Half the team quit. I had mostly military guys. So I had some good football players. I had a really good defense. I had some good running backs. I was thin on the offensive line because a lot of my guys were playing both ways. And the quarterback that I had, I knew he wasn't very good. We got into the first game and we won because I ran the ball like 58 times. But after the first quarter, after the first series, I saw how he reacted to being in and how nervous and scared he was. we ended up punting, but he came to the sideline and I grabbed him by his face mask. And this grown man, I looked him dead in his eye. I said, "Why you didn't tell me you never played quarterback before?" I knew he wasn't very good, but you never know until you get into actual game time situation. And he just looked at me with deer in the headlights. Look, I said, "Go to the sideline. Just go over there." Ended up switching quarterbacks to another kid that could run pretty good, but neither here nor there. I adjusted. So I don't blame John Mateer. John Mateer doesn't call plays. If John Mateer's thumb is hurt, or if he's not reading the field, or if he's turning the ball over, take the possessions out of his hand. Don't have him run 15 times a game and throw the ball 38 times a game. This is coaching. Don't blame players unless they're not giving me effort or they're turning the football over. Those are two things that I can't abide by. Effort and turning the football over. But if you're playing your heart out like John Mateer did, I'll give it to him. He played his heart out for this team. He did what he was physically and mentally able to do. But he had too much on his plate. He's not Tim Tebow. He's not Cam Newton. He's not Kyler Murray. He's not that guy to run the ball 15 times and throw it 38 times. So I don't blame him, man. I blame the offensive coordinator. You can't blame the children. You got to blame the adults in the room. Vincent, love the channel. I was at the game on Friday. Second half, Arbuckle was infuriating. Keep up the good work. Thank you. Appreciate it. I was at the game too. I did a bunch of interviews. I know you guys caught that video. We ran the ball 20 times in the first half, man, and 13 in the second half. He didn't get the damn memo. I blame y'all. So somebody know Ben Arbuckle. Somebody know somebody that know Ben Arbuckle. Y'all could have got him my video, man. I blame y'all. 44 runs and 16 passes for Indiana. In a 38-3 win. That was actually just the running backs. They actually ran the ball 50 times. I think that's what it was on the stats, 50 times. Hence why he went to the portal. I don't blame him. Taylor Tatum was overhyped. He played against a lot of bad competition. He wasn't physical enough. I didn't like his body. I didn't like his body type. I'm gonna be honest with you. When I saw his video, I wasn't on the hype train of I wasn't on Taylor Tatum's hype train. I wasn't. There's a couple of things that I look for when I look at running backs, because running back film in high school can be skewed. There's a lot of these running backs that they break long ones and all you see them is just running touchdowns without being touched. I don't want to see that. I want to see running backs that hit the hole, run through a linebacker. I don't care about running backs that run one side of the field and the other side of the field. I don't want to see that crap. Show me a running back that's hitting the hole, running hard, and running through people. And then not only that, I'm not just looking at him. I'm looking at the defense that he's playing against. Are those little kids? Is that a 3A school? Or is that a 6A school? Is that a 5A school? Is that a school with a bunch of more athletes? So I evaluate a little different when I look at high school kids. I don't want to get too far down. I don't want to miss nobody. Yeah, Danny Okoye. That's who I was trying to get to. Thank you, Danny Okoye. I was on the Danny Okoye hype train coming into this year. I wish he would have got more spin, but hey, we had what we had. Between Marvin Jones and Taylor Wine and everybody that we had on the defensive end, PJ and our closer, it just was no room for him, man. But this year, Danny Okoye with Taylor Wine, Jake Krill, PJ Attleboro, all right, man, those guys are going to be, oh my God. Brent Venables is keeping it going. He's keeping it going, and I don't want to lose him. So don't get me wrong. I'm not saying fire Brent Venables, but we got to get a competent OC in here. I think maybe the next OC hire, Brent Venables, needs to consult with Nick Saban. Call him and ask him, Coach, hey man, who's a good OC that you're thinking? Don't go get nobody else from Mike Leach's coaching tree. And rest in peace to Mike Leach, man. I don't want anybody to think that I'm talking ill about Mike Leach because my last video I said he didn't win anything. That's not my intent. Okay. Yeah. Crankstein, Enid, Lydell Carr was your favorite, bro. So Lydell Carr is actually my first cousin. That's my mom's cousin. Yeah. So at Enid High School, it wasn't just Lydell that was on the team. It was Lydell. It was my uncle Randall. He was the linebacker. It was my cousin Chetty. So it was Randall Carr, Lydell Carr, Marcus Carr was the running back. That's my uncle. Chetty Carr was the safety. And Thomas Carr, who ended up getting into a car accident and being in a wheelchair, but he was also a linebacker. But my grandmother, she used to get mad because they got tired of saying everybody's name. They would just say Carr on the tackle or Carr for the touchdown. And she'd be like, which one? Say their name. But yeah, I had like 6 family members all playing at Enid High School at one time, and they were all monsters. That's why I left Alabama to go back to Enid to play my last 2 years of high school football. Let's go down. Started 26 minutes ago. I'm getting an alert. I'm sorry, man. I actually put the video to uh like 30 minutes early so everybody would know when the live is. But guys, just playing for Saturdays at 7 o'clock. I work on Saturdays till 5. I'll come home, I'll get ready. I'll go do my little jog with my dog, like what I did. So I got this hoodie on, and then I'll get on here and we'll chat it up. Uh, yeah, Arbuckle is Sooner Cowboy. Arbuckle is in about his 3rd or 4th year as an OC. BV hired Arbuckle because he knew he was gonna take time. I think it was more of a wanting John Mateer type thing. And if you guys go back and I know you guys seen that video, man, when Arbuckle was hired. I got a lot of flack for that video, man. It's not easy getting on here and bucking the trend. And somebody was like, well, Gabe Eichert liked the hire, so I'll go with him. And that's fine. It's okay. I love Gabe. I love Teddy. I love those guys, man. Even though I didn't play at OU, they feel like brothers to me. And I don't even know them. But I love those dudes, man. I remember watching Teddy. Teddy was a monster. Teddy still looks like he's a monster. So nothing against those guys. We all have our opinions. Mine just happen to be right. Because I didn't, if y'all remember that video, I didn't pity pat around it at all. I got on here and I said, no. Brent Venables will go down as the head coach that couldn't get the offensive coordinator position right. And so far, I have been 100% correct because he has hired 3 offensive coordinators, 4 if you count Joe John Finley, and they've all sucked. The numbers don't lie. The numbers don't lie. You can't win a national title with this nonsense we got going on. Uh, bu- 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 bu. Yeah, Durham's not coming to OU. I don't see it, man. Uh, BV got to get more serious about winning games. I think BV is serious about winning games, man. It's the offensive coordinator position. He's got to figure it out. I don't know if I had a chance to sit down with Coach Venables. I don't know why he would listen to me. I'm just a guy that was in the Army, played semi-pro football, and coached high school football. He I mean, but I know what I'm talking about. And I would actually show him the numbers because he is a numbers guy. And I would go very in depth with him and give him every example that I've given you guys, and I think he would see it, but I'm not gonna get that sit down, man. Somebody told me, why don't I do it? Boy, I do it for free. You ain't even got to pay me all that money you paying him. Give me me 1 year, and I'll promise you, it'll be we'll be way better off than what we was. You think he? Let's see, probably not. But it's crazy that even a kid that's his favorite player is coaching the position the kid is from Oklahoma. His mom ran track. Oh, you don't want to come here? It's crazy, bro. But I get it. Yeah, you're right. Oh, you Nitro. Hey, thank you, Nitro, for coming in, man. I'm just now seeing you in here, brother. You're always, like most of you guys, are always in my comments, and I appreciate it, man. I truly do. I can't say it enough. I won't stop saying it. I appreciate you guys. Even when I get to my next level with whatever it is, I'm gonna always uh, conversate with you guys and remember who you are. You think he runs more if our backs were more healthy? So I know that there were reports from a lot of the other guys about the backs not being healthy. But this is my thing. What part of them is not healthy? Because Xavier Robinson looked just fine running down the middle of the field when he dropped that pass. If you can send him on a deep crossing route or a deep post, he ain't that damn hurt. So we got our not so healthy running back running a post down the middle of the field, but our not so healthy quarterback running the ball 15 times a game. Man, get out of here. No, I don't believe it, brother. I'm sorry. I understand that they were banged up. Players get banged up, but they're not healthy to where they can't run the football. And I know we made our own mess, so we had to sleep in it because people were commenting in my videos and they were saying, well, why isn't this player playing? Why isn't that player playing? Why isn't this player playing? You know why? Because we got to a certain part of the season and all those running backs that I told you that we're going to transfer, Jaden Ott, Taylor Tatum, and what's the name? All those guys were going to be going in the transfer portal. So hell no, they weren't going to play. Why? Why would they mess up their eligibility to come in and pass block? No, 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 no. We had running backs. We just only had two that had seen time that didn't plan on transferring, in Torrey Blaylock and Xavier Robinson. So that's all we had available. The rest of those guys not interested. And everybody wants to jump on Jaden Ott. I don't blame Jaden Ott. Jaden Ott got paid to come here and run the football. And guys, when I tell you, when he did get the ball, Jaden Ott played well. So if you want to be mad at somebody about Jaden Ott's production, don't be mad at the player. I'm going to say it again. Be mad at the adults in the room. Because we paid him all that money, and that damn offensive coordinator didn't want to give him the football. It's not on Jaden Ott. Go back and watch the games where Jaden Ott played and look at the actual runs that he had. I don't care about his posture on the side. I care about his posture on the sideline, but if you gave him the damn ball, he probably wouldn't have had that posture. Now, maybe he didn't earn it. I understand that too, because I've been in that situation. When I was an offense coordinator for a semi-pro football team, and just to put this into context, because I know some people frown at semi-pro football, I had a running back that came from UTEP. There was an all-conference player, and he was third on my depth chart. Third. Behind a running back that I actually end up sending to Mississippi State and another running back that was in the military. So don't frown on semi-pro football. Get the likes up, fam. Yes, sir. We working on it, man. Wipe your shoes before you step in to the like button. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, I appreciate y'all, man. I truly do for y'all coming and hanging out with me, man. I do want to do a live where if y'all want to be on camera and just kind of conversate with me a little bit, we'll do some of that too. We'll get 5 minutes. We'll start rotating people in, man. So we're we're gonna do a lot of content. I appreciate you guys' help. That's why I've said in the comments that some of these comments that you guys are making, I'm gonna turn them into videos. So it's about to be the off season, and like I told you, I'm not gonna disappear. So we're gonna keep it going. Um, so Sooner Cowboy, that's how Material looked like this year. Too nervous a lot of times. Yeah. So he was. Um, it's just a lot on his plate, man. It's a lot. Um, Sometimes schemes can be too complex for certain players. I don't know what his study habits are. Um, and some people just don't see the field well. There have been times in games where we have come out and I should be doing lives when I'm watching the game too. I promise y'all, it'll probably be the funniest thing in the world. But the only reason why I don't do it because I told my girlfriend, I said, why would anybody want to watch me watch the game? Or they could just watch the game themselves. And I know some people go live during the game. I just don't think y'all. I just don't think that's a thing, man. Maybe you go back and watch it later, or I can make some cutups of it. But I would be watching the game, and they would come to the line. And I'd be like, the tight end's open right now. So he snap the ball. He'd be looking to the other side. Here come Kennick, wide open. And my girlfriend just look at me and go, "How you know he's gonna be wide open?" I see the field. Especially because I play corner, I play a lot of defense. We'll be watching the game and I'll be like, they're about to run a screen. It's a toss to this side, double slants. And I'm calling all of it before it even starts. And she's just looking at me like, you need to get back in high school coaching. But I sell manufactured homes and I make a lot of money doing it. So I ain't going nowhere. Uh, but yeah, he's nervous. Just kind of the feet. He's got bad feet. He's got that bad sidearm throwing motion. There's reports saying that he might go to the draft. Guys, John Material's going to go undrafted. I'm fifth round at best. There's one thing to have numbers and to for them to see him, but when he goes to the combine, because he's not going to be one of those guys that's going to be able to go to the combine and decline to throw. Listen to me when I'm telling you. I know quarterbacks going into the draft. I was the guy that bucked the trend for Sam Darnold. I said he wasn't going to be any good. He's just now starting to come around. I don't know how he ended up with a job this long. Um, and Dwayne Haskins. When I got another video when uh, what's the name that was at Alabama before he transferred to Oklahoma, I said that I told Alabama fans, I said he will not win you a national title. I'll be surprised if he'd be y'all's quarterback until he's a senior. He might not even be at y'all school any longer. I'm gonna release those videos to y'all. But he's he's a fifth round pick at best. Y'all clip that and remember it. Sooner Cowboy said that's what Caden Durham would do. Go watch his film at Duncanville and his. Yeah, I was at the games. I live in Fort Worth. I go to the Duncanville games. I didn't get to make one this year, but I go to those games, those high school games around here. I love it. I want to get more footage at those games and stuff so I can share them with y'all. But yeah, I remember watching Caden Durham. I think he's a very good back. Big time running backs will never come here. The system is broken. Yep, we said that. Definitely, Crimson. This is not a destination for the number one running back in the nation. It's just not. Top 5 running back in the nation is just not. Now, DeMarco Murray is still getting top-notch backs. The back that we got coming in, he is amazing. He is a strong kid, and I hope he keeps his commitment. And I hope he stays with us, and we get him going in some capacity. But yeah, we're not the offensive side of the football, skill positions, not quarterback, but wide receivers and running back should give you a look into how kids view our program. Just look at it. So the Cowboy, I think OU actually has a chance with Caden Durham. David Stone has been trying. Yeah, I know Stoney knows him. I don't think he's coming. Uh, he should have never fired Kate Gundy. He should have just been suspended. So yeah, Kale, that's a tough situation, man. If you guys remember, he there was a kid that was on his cell phone, and this was when Brent Venables was still trying to establish a culture. And there was a kid on his cell phone in the meeting room, and he wasn't paying attention. Kel snatched his phone and read the message, but in the message it had the word nigga, so it had Kel saying the word nigga, which we all know. Excuse me. I looked down at my screen. Look, I got something in my nose. Man, y'all gotta put that in the chat, man. Y'all gotta tell me I got something in my nose. Um, and they fired him for that. I don't think that that's a fireable offense, but when you're trying to establish a culture, man, that can be tough. Hold on just a second. Hold on just a second. That's driving me nuts. All right, sorry about that. But whenever you're trying to establish a culture, it was just a call that Brent Venables made. It was a tough situation. Uh, that particular kid rung the bell on that. That's something that should have been kept in house. And it was fitting that that particular player ended up not even being at OU any longer. So man, it was a bad situation. I like Kale. I think he would have been good, but we got to move on from that, guys. He's not coming back to the University of Oklahoma. X Rob got knee surgery last weekend. Yeah. So we'll see how fast he comes back. It's tough, man. It's tough. Soon as Cowboy, I think it was just a scope though to clean up his knee. Yeah, but that stuff is still hard to come back from. Cutting on your body at any time, man. With these level of athletes, they can come back from it. They have all the facilities in the world. That's one thing about Oklahoma. We have everything that we need. We have great facilities. We have great structure for these young men with the soul mission and everything that Brent Venables is doing, the culture that he's built, getting the kids off the weed, making sure that they go to class and doing everything that he's doing. He's doing everything the right way. But it's that one side of the football that was the same thing with Lincoln Riley. He couldn't get the defense right. He's got to get that offensive coordinator position right. And Ben Arbuckle is not it. He never was it. Um, Boxer love body shots because they wear an opponent down. It's just like running the ball. Yep. Just like running the ball. You got to put that work in early, just like in a boxing match. You got to put that work in early, and It'll pay off. It'll pay off in the fourth quarter. Like I told you, guys get tired of tackling. Go back and watch that Indiana game. They got tired of tackling them. Them little balls of muscle, man. They got it. Alabama was tired. They looked like they were scared. When was the last time you said that about an Alabama team? They looked like they were scared. They weren't gang tackling no more. Hey, let me stand back and hope he makes this tackle. Go back and watch some highlights. Yes, Mateer had too much on his plate. Sooner Cowboy, he repeated what one of his wide receivers on his iPad. Yeah, that's what it was. Rap lyric. Okay, uh I thought he was a text message that he sent to somebody, but whatever it is. And the kid, you're right, he transferred out the next season. He did. OU's offense has been doomed ever since. Sooner Cowboy, yep, okay. I remember that. As a proud, unapologetic, maybe even radical black man, I truly don't associate Kale with racism. I could be 100% wrong, and if I am, please correct me. No, I don't. I don't associate him with racism either. I don't. I truly don't. I don't know him personally, but some people you can kind of tell in the way that they talk and the way that they carry themselves. And by all accounts, the people that know Kale, Kale's a good guy. Now, if you would have told me that his brother, Mike Gundy, said it, I I might believe that. That mullet wearing. No, he's a good guy, man. Um, let's see. BV made a huge mistake. Kel Gunny was all. Yes, he was. OU DNA. RPO has been the worst thing for OU running game. It has, and it's a good tool, but once again, it's terrible. Was just saying today when it comes. This is Slam for 4455. Was just saying today when it comes to high school highlight tapes. Show me what the kid is doing when he don't get the ball. Is he blocking? Is he on the field or the sideline? Yeah, definitely. And does he? And that's one thing that I pay attention to a lot when I go to these high school games too. I pay attention to these kids on the sideline when they're not on the field. And I'm not saying Caden Durham, but for example, if your running back is on the sideline and he's not kind of going over stuff with the offense, or he's not engaged and he's more in the crowd throwing up gang signs and all that old stuff, man, I look at stuff like that, because that stuff matters to me, the character of a player. Because when I nowadays with these high school kids, it's very tough. I had a high school kid, and you got to think about my mentality and who I am as a person. 22-year combat veteran that's done football, boxing, combat sports, everything. I had one of my receivers. He dropped the ball, and I jumped in his butt, and he went to the side and said, "Bitch ass coach." Oh, 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 poor, poor. Them other coaches had to come get me. They had to come get me. I wouldn't go hurt them folks' kid, but I told him go get your daddy, and we'll find out who's a bitch. That's what I told him. They had to come get me because I was hot. I don't play them games under no circumstances. There ain't no softness in me whatsoever at all. I am all fire. That's all I have to say about that in my Forrest Gump voice. We don't leave that alone. But I don't play them games. I'm that dude that if you say you can do something better than me, show me. I want to see. I'm curious. Looks like OU is about to Sooner Cowboy. Once again, it looks like OU is about to land Cole Sullivan, Michigan linebacker transfer. We'll see. We can get those defensive guys. We can get them all day. That offensive side of the football, top notch wide receivers and running backs, they don't want nothing to do with this 5 wide nonsense. And if you think about it, why would you? Why? That's why the top notch kids in our state, we were able to get some running backs early. And that's why I don't understand when people are saying that we should get rid of DeMarco Murray, because kids are still coming to Oklahoma through recruiting. But transfer portal, you're looking for somewhere to play. You're looking for somewhere to showcase your skills. You've already been in the system. You've already been through a college football program. You've already been to practice. You've already been in the weight room. You're coming to show what you can. And if I'm a kid and I'm being real with myself and I'm talking to my mentor, who is probably my father, my uncle, or my coaches that are football minds, guys that have played this game, and I say, these are my options, and I'm a running back. Should I go to Michigan or should I go to Oklahoma? Come on, man. Y'all know the answer to that question. It ain't hard. There ain't no damn way I'm going to Oklahoma as a running back out of the transfer portal. If I'm Cam Coleman and I want to be able to get some one-on-one opportunities, I'm not going to Oklahoma because I know we're going to be in 5 wide receivers and most teams are going to play zone. Now, he can have faith in what he does as a person, but what he's also going to do is he's going to look at our outside receivers and he's going to look at their targets. What were their targets on the season? And I'm going to go look it up real quick. Let's look it up because I don't know. But I know I'm not wrong because we ain't do a lot. So if we look at receivers on the season, yes, Isaiah Satania, 67 receptions, 965 yards. That's a slot receiver. Deion Burks, 57 receptions. But when you look at Keontez Lewis, now Giovanni Gibson was hurt, but when you look at Keontez Lewis, outside wide receiver, and Jermichael Carter, Keontez Lewis, 21 receptions. Giovanni Gibson, 18 receptions. Jermichael Carter, 9 receptions. Cam Coleman's not a slot receiver. Brent doesn't care about defense. Sooner Cowboys, Satania, I think, was second or third best wide receiver in the SEC this year. Yeah. Yeah. Satania's a stud, man. Got him from Arkansas. He's a great player. We have a lot of good players. Deion Burks was a phenomenal player. But you get those guys opportunities by getting them one-on-one. Guys, go back and watch. And I know I revert to the Indiana, and I'm a Sooner guy, but I know I revert to the Indiana game because that's how football should be played. But when you look at Indiana and you look at the passes that they caught, those were one-on-one situations. Alabama didn't get a chance to play a lot of zone. You know why? Because they were always in guess mode. They always had to play the run. They had to stack the box. And even when they stacked the box, Indiana still ran the ball on them. So stacking the box, what does that do? That leave you in man coverage, and you got one-on-one opportunities for your wide receivers. And all those big catches that those wide receivers had were in one-on-one situations. It wasn't, he wasn't picking apart a zone what Alabama was trying to do the whole damn game. It's a contrast in offenses. One or the other. Pro style offense would do as good. Yes, it would. That's why I said I want either somebody that's proven through uh, through winning a national title, or somebody that's coming from the NFL, or another coach that um, came up under Nick Saban, because I know he's going to run the football. Crimson 360, we need some of those Indiana players. Want an upgrade to. I think our offensive line is better than theirs, other than their center. And our centers aren't bad. We got some good offensive linemen, guys. The offensive linemen didn't play bad. They played very well. It's our scheme, man. It's our scheme. Uh, hey guys, if you stop by and you haven't hit the like button, go ahead and hit the like button. If you are, if I do have anybody new here that's not commenting, that's just watching, that's okay. I appreciate you guys for coming through. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button if you are not subscribed to the channel. We truly appreciate it. A few more things, guys. Now go ahead and get out of here. It's already been about an hour. Um, I put a note down that said each year that goes by, Oklahoma loses more and more luster. Do you guys agree or disagree with that? I think the more years that go by that we're not winning and that we're having 6 and 7 seasons, we do lose some luster. To be honest, the University of Oklahoma is not well respected. It's not how it used to be. It used to be that this would be the this it used to be that if we had a home game, we were favored. Now we're coming into the season, and and bookies are picking us at 6.5, 7.5 wins. When the hell did that start? Our win total is 6.5. We're not the dominant football team that we used to be. It's been way too long. We got the defense fixed. We are not consistently getting top 5 recruits in the nation. I talked about this in another video. Alabama, Ohio State, and Georgia have been in the top 5 recruiting since Brent Venables has taken over. They have been no less than 5th in recruiting. That's programs that are respected, that are stacking recruiting class after recruiting class after recruiting class. And we need to get back to that. And the only way you get back to that is consistently winning. And I don't mean skating by and winning because you got 3 turnovers. I'm not talking about your defense leading you to a victory and you're winning 17 to 14 and your offense only has 180 total yards. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about blowing teams out. You're consistently getting 350 yards. You're running for 150 and probably throwing for another 200, or running for 200 and throwing for another 150 with no turnovers. Dominant football. Because I promise you, if we ran the ball 40 times a game, we wouldn't have lost to Texas. We wouldn't have lost to Ole Miss. You know why? Because their offenses wouldn't have been on the field. And we got a schedule coming up next year that is actually pretty favorable. But it's going to be doomsday scenario if we're not running the football. So in order to get back to the luster of which is Oklahoma football. And if you look at the teams that you consider to be blue blood programs, Oklahoma, Notre Dame, Alabama, Ohio State, and Michigan. Those are the 5 programs I consider blue bloods. Notre Dame played for a national championship last year. They didn't win, but they played for it. They had playoff wins. Alabama, we know they've won national titles. Ohio State just won it last year, and Michigan won it the year before that. It's been 25 years. Are we still considered a blue blood? Because we won one in 2000, 85, the 70s, the 60s, the 50s, the 40s. Kids don't care about that. Kids care about the fact that Brent Venables is 0-4 in bowl games. We lost to Navy last year. Navy. My bad, guys. My bad. I'm trying. I'm trying. I'm not going. I'm not going to go there. Yeah, USC does have number 1 class. That ain't gonna last. Sooner Cowboys. They got number 1 class. Um, USC. Lincoln Riley gonna get fired. let's let's talk about coaches that's gonna get fired. Lincoln Riley gonna get fired. I'm telling you right now, Lincoln Riley gonna get fired. Kalen DeBoer's gonna get fired. Might not be this year, but it's gonna happen. Kalen DeBoer, he had some success at Washington because all he had to do was win one playoff game. He was playing in the Pac-12 that was really weak at the time when Michigan was playing well. You got to remember the Pac-12 wasn't that good. All they had to really do was get through Oregon. He was able to win one playoff game. Kalen DeBoer will not win multiple playoff games in this current system because the higher you get in the playoffs, the better teams are. And being one-dimensional on offense, like we are, like they are, is not going to be successful. And Alabama's fans and Board of Regents is going to run Kalen DeBoer out of the building. Watch what I tell you. There's another one for you. Clip it. Kalen DeBoer will be fired after next season. Uh, Indiana is a unicorn. However, you can rebuild a program every season. Coaching matters. Yeah, coaching does matter. I don't think they're a unicorn. They just got a good coaching staff. They play bend don't break defense. They play a lot of zone. The hardest thing to do is drive 80 yards or 75 yards and and constantly execute when what you're doing is the hardest thing that you could possibly do is which is throw the ball. And they run the football. They don't give you chances to get going offensively. They control the rushing, they control the time of possession, they don't turn the football over, and they don't give up big plays. Show me you can execute all the way down the field. Show me you can put together a 16-play drive without running the football. You can't. Nobody thought that they were going to do what they did to Alabama but me. And I know some of y'all did, but I'm talking about the people that get on here and talk for a living. I watch the other channels. Josh Pate picked Alabama. And I commented, you crazy. Love Josh Pate too, man. Love Josh Pate. Close to becoming Nebraska. You're correct. If not already there. And I know a lot of us got mad, including me, when what's the name said it? Colin Coward, when Colin Coward said it. But he was correct. He was correct. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. At this point, we're far away from the program we used to be. We are 0-5 in bowl games, 0-4 in CFPs, losses to Navy and Kansas under BV. It's been horrible. It has. If OU had a full-time AD, BV may have been fired after last season. It's not a matter of. This is what I want to say about BV. If his signature, which is defense, was bad, I can go with that. Because even though I was calling for Lincoln Riley to be gone, and people told me I was crazy, but I was saying in order for Oklahoma to move forward, we have to get rid of Lincoln Riley because he can't get the defense side of football right. We kept him because what he was known for, we were excelling at. We were having Heisman Trophy winning quarterbacks. But we couldn't win the whole thing because our defense were terrible. Remember the Georgia game? We were beating Georgia the whole game. Georgia came back because we couldn't tackle, went into overtime. Lincoln Riley outcoached himself, and Georgia went and got a touchdown. And we lost. And I was calling for his head. And it wasn't an overreaction. It's just that I saw the writing on the wall that it wasn't going to get better because he wasn't going to fire Alex Grinch. I'm not there with Brent Venables yet because what he has brought to Oklahoma on as far as defense, do understand defense is a lot harder to be great at than offense is. Iowa runs the football. For years, Wisconsin ran the football. It's just that they were so porous when it came time to throw the ball because they could never get a top-notch quarterback recruit. That's where that balance comes in at. That's why you can't just be one-dimensional running the ball like the Iowa Hawkeyes or Wisconsin. Or you can't be one-dimensional throwing the football like Oklahoma, Alabama, and Texas Tech. You have to have that balance. But it starts with a strong run game and building off of that. And your quarterback can throw 17 times in a game and still win the Heisman, a la Indiana. Before you had a full time 80, I read that already. Do you think based on the trend under BV that OU will go 6-7? I don't think OU will go 6-7 this year. And the only reason why I say that, Oklahoma Sooners 2026 football schedule. Because our schedule is very favorable. I don't have it memorized. I've been looking at it, but UTEP. I played football in El Paso, man. Um, I went to the game 2012. I think we played. Oklahoma came to UTEP. I was stationed in El Paso at Fort Bliss at the time, and I was on crutches going to the game in my Sooner gear. I was literally there wasn't many Sooner fans there, and them UTEP dudes was talking crap like they was gonna kick my crutches and all that. Man, I'm on crutches like bring it. Anyway, UTEP, that's a win. At Michigan, they got some issues right now. I hate that happened to Sharon Moore. We're not going to get into that. But guys, Sharon Moore is a good guy as well. He's not a bad guy. he made a bad decision over a woman. He cheated. I'm sure there's many of y'all watching right now that have cheated at some point in your life on a woman. So I know I have. I'm not the good. I can admit that I'm not a saint when it comes to that aspect. I've had weak moments. But at Michigan, they got some issues. We should win that game. New Mexico. Funny story about the Lobos. When I was in high school, I got a letter um, from New Mexico, just an offer to play football. I got offers from a lot of schools, but an offer to play football. When they would give your coach's letter, I looked at the letter. I said, "Lobos? Who the hell's the Lobos?" That's how high school kids think, man. I don't know about no damn Lobos. At Georgia's gonna be a stiff one. Be honest with you. Texas is gonna be a stiff one. If Ben Arbuckle doesn't figure out how to run the ball, we're gonna lose to Texas again. And I hate to say it. I do. Now, when we get closer to that game, I'm gonna be all OU. I'll be like, yeah, we're gonna win. But just looking at it, man, they are gonna get better. They got a good win in their bowl game. Arch is on the back half of the season. He's quietly improving. They still got a long ways to go, though. Can we beat Georgia and Texas? Yeah, we can beat both of them. But if you think you're gonna roll into Athens and not run the football or run it with John Mateer 15 times, that's an L. Um, so let's say we go. Let's say we end up. Let's even say we lose both of those games, which I'm not saying we are. So don't beat me up, guys. 3-2. We don't lose to Kentucky. Now I'm gonna say this: if we go to Starkville and we lose to Jeff Levy, fire everybody in the building, but Brent Venables. Oh, and DeMarco Murray and fire all the everybody that's involved with offensive decisions. But we should win that game. So if you look at that, that's 5-2. South Carolina, we don't know what they're going to be next year. At Florida is always a tough one. I don't care what Florida's looking like or who their coach is. Just going there, it's a tough one. Ole Miss looks good. Um, we'll get them at home. We'll see. Texas A&M ain't gonna be no walk in the park. And then Missouri. So losable. Let's just say losable games. 1, 2, 3. Just because it's at Florida. 4, 5. Man, we should win those games. We should have. With John Mateer coming back, his being his 4th year. I thought that this year would be Brent Venables' national championship season. Next year could very well much be that. But next year could also be a 6-7 season. And I'll tell you why. Remember we talked about Phil Steele. I still got the book right here. Phil Steele. If you guys don't get this magazine, get this magazine. Every year I get it. And I read 90% of it. Even teams that I don't care nothing about. I still go and I look at it because I like to bet on football. Um, but he has a spot in there where he talks about close wins and close losses. So, like, if you have close wins the year before, the next year you usually have close losses, and that runs like clockwork. That's why we've had the 6-7, 10-2, 6-7, 10-2. And because we've had the close wins this year, So if we go through the schedule, yes, we beat Illinois State. Yes, we beat Michigan by 2 scores. Temple, uh, Auburn by 1 score. Lost to Texas. Beat South Carolina by 19 points, and that's because that's the one where we really ran the football. But once you got into the mid schedule, lost to Ole Miss, beat Tennessee by 6, beat Alabama by 2, beat Alabama by 2 with 3 turnovers to none. That was a red flag. Beat Missouri 17-6, beat LSU 17-13, and that was a down LSU team. So we don't have that, and lost to Alabama. So we don't have that schedule this year. But when you look at close, those close wins, 1, 2, 3. Let's just say 3, and you add the 2 losses that we have. That's looking at 5 losses for next season. And I just said 5. If Ben Arbuckle doesn't clean his act up. So um, clip that if you like. That's where we're at. If they get Cam. But Texas just had a mass exodus with all their running backs too. They lost all their running backs. They have a running game problem too. But you know what I can appreciate about not Texas because it's still horns down. But Steve Sarkisian as a coach is that he admitted to it early in the season. I think it was before the OU game. I was watching one of his press conferences, and he specifically said, they said, what do you need to do to get better as a football team? He said, we have to figure out this run game. We have to be able to run the ball. That's out of Steve Sarkisian's mouth. So I can appreciate that. So that lets me know that during the offseason, he's going to make some changes and work towards that. That's all I want. That's all I want Brent Venables to do. Be honest about how shitty the run game is. Be transparent about it instead of all this coach speak that you and Ben Arbuckle do. And tell me that you are working towards fixing it. Not Ben Arbuckle coming in a damn press conference going, oh yeah, I'm proud of Xavier Robinson. Then why won't you give him the damn ball? Oh, I'm proud of these guys, the way that they run the ball when they get their chance and they run hard. That's not telling me nothing. Come out in the press conference and say, hey, I know that I haven't really been committed to the run. We're working on making those changes. You can take that. I can applaud you as a coach because you came out, you recognized the problem, and you voiced your intent to fix it. But if you just come out and you do all this coach speak, you're telling me that you think that everything is going just fine. When you blame it on John Mateer, I've never seen a coach do that. Except for maybe a halftime going into the locker room. Most coaches say we. But he came in a press conference and said John Mateer has to see the field better. We're working on that. We're working on getting his confidence up. What? If you know his confidence is no good, come on, guys. Y'all know. Run the damn football. So I have no faith in Ben Arbuckle whatsoever that he's gonna fix it, man. Um, did you know that EJ contract is up? I wonder if they give him another contract. EJ. My brain a little slow right now. I saw the comments soon as Cowboy about OU was up 17. Yeah, I saw that against Georgia in the Rose Bowl. Yeah, I remember. Do you know EJ? Somebody type down the bottom EJ. I'm sorry, man. Cam may go to USC or Texas A&M. It's possible. I agree, Cowboy. Texas does have some good wide receivers though. Just watch the recruit for them. Yeah, they got a 8-4, 7-5. That sounds about right, guys. Um, I'm not gonna predict that. So even earlier in the season when they were saying we were 6 wins, I said 10-2 is our floor. When everybody else was saying that 8 wins was our ceiling, I said, "Oh no 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 no." Even with me not having the faith in Ben Arbuckle because I never had it, I still said that 10-2 is where we should be. So I'm not gonna say 7-5 or 8-4 because it's way too early. We still have to see what we look like in the spring, and then we still have to see what the roster looks like in the fall. We still got the transfer portal going on. We still got to get people in. Some guys are gonna have surgery. We got to get guys healthy. We got to make it through the spring healthy. We got to see where John Mateer is as far as, and I know they're not going to be fully transparent, but as far as improving, Soonerscoop.com. Thank you guys. Eddie Radosevich, those guys are amazing. I watch their channel because they have a lot of footage, and I truly appreciate it because I love watching the team practice, man. I wish I could just, I, I would love to be in a spot where I could go cover this team and sit and watch practice all day because I'll come give y'all the real. Man, if I could just get there, man. We get these followers up. We're 40 away from 1,000, man. We get these followers up. We might get there on the field. Uh, I'll take him, Livingston. Probably coming to OU or Indiana. That scares me for real. Could lose a lot of games. We. I don't want to think about that, man. It's tough. Yeah, I think 6-7 is a real possibility. That's tough. It's tough. 7-5, people are getting fired, and I think that's. But the problem is, we should be fixing this stuff before we get to this point. Because if the fan base is saying this and they're not happy, there's no way in hell that I'm gonna sit up here and believe that BV thinks everything is okay. And I know it's almost asinine to think that he doesn't know how to fix it. But if he knew how to fix it, he would have never hired Ben Arbuckle. Ain't that crazy, guys? The money that we're paying these coaches, that the university is paying these coaches, dereliction of duty is what it's called. You're getting paid to do something and you are not performing. Texas is in the running for top back out of Louisville. Kid is fast. They might get him. We talked about the top 5 schools as far as making money: Texas, Ohio State, Texas A&M, Georgia, and Michigan. Those are the top 5 revenue producing schools, and 2 of them hadn't won a national title lately. Texas was 2005. Texas A&M was 1940 something, I think. I don't know. Who cares? But Ohio State, Georgia, and Michigan, they got their money from winning national titles, and that's why they are getting the bulk of the transfer portal because they can afford to pay as many guys as they want to pay them. Texas revenue was 1.5 billion. I think it was like 1.48. 1.5 billion. They can go get those guys. And a lot of offensive players, yeah, they're going to want to play for Steve Sarkisian and Arch Manning. Yeah. Of course. Uh, Materia needs a sports psychiatrist. It took pulling teeth for BV to respectfully let Joe John Finley go. Uh, Go not fire him. BV is too nice and loyal. He is, man. And then that's kind of tough to fire one of your own. Joe John Finley is one of us guys. So that's kind of a hard thing to do. Um, I had us going 6-6 last year. Uh, Chuck Kearney said he is not the problem. Who's not the problem, Chuck? Type it down at the bottom. Thanks for the BCast, brother. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We're gonna start doing this every Saturday, man, at 7 o'clock. Do you think they have a spring game this year? Yeah, you're right. We didn't have the spring game last year. I I think because the injuries is reason why they didn't want to do the spring game. So, but I wish we would have had the spring game because we would have seen what Ben Arbuckle was up to. And I don't know if you specifically has been watching my channel for a while, but I usually since I started this, I come on. Okay, Emmett Jones, EJ. Okay, I got you. Um, I'll get to that in a second. Um, I would go to the spring game every year, and then I would come back and I would do a video on what I didn't like about the spring game. And the last couple of spring games, I was talking about how we came out and we started with a gimmick play. It was like a reverse pass or something like that. And people were in my comments saying, "Oh man, it's just a spring game. You need to lighten up." No, the spring game, you come out, you show the fan base. It's for the fan base. It's not for the players. It's so they can run around and hit a little bit before it's for the fan base to show the fan base what your offense is all about. If you're coming out and you're running a reverse pass on the first play of the spring game, I know your offense is crap. I know it's shit. So I don't know if they're gonna do a spring game or not, man. Emmett Jones. Emmett Jones is a very good recruiter. Emmett Jones is not getting the number one wide receiver in the nation, but he's getting the guys that he's want, and he's doing a pretty good job. You guys got to remember, up until last year, we were doing good as far as wide receiver recruiting. It's just that we had all those guys get hurt, Jaden Gibson, and we just had a bunch of guys. All 5-star wide receivers got hurt, and that's why Joe John Finley and what they did last year made no sense. Trying to throw the ball 38, 40 times a game with Jackson Arnold, and you don't have any healthy wide receivers. You're playing with your fifth, sixth, seventh string wide receiver when you got 5 healthy running backs in the backfield. You got Sawchuck and all these guys in the backfield, Xavier Robinson, that you could have just been handing the ball off to. But we were in 4 or 5 wide receiver. It made no sense, man. Seth Latrell's an idiot. And I said it before, any coach that got fired from North Texas had no business being an offensive coordinator at the University of Oklahoma. You got fired from North Texas. Makes no sense. But as far as Emmett Jones, he's getting what he wants, man. He's been doing a good job. Son, what's up, Bishop? What's up? What's up? Oklahoma family, heartbeat. Oh, you fire? Yes, sir. DM makes 900,000. He is stealing money. Yeah, you can pay me that. You can pay me half that. I'll come do the job. In your own words, areas of concern with Oklahoma offense side of football. That's it. That's the primary area of concern. The defense is fine. The recruit every now defensive depth. We still don't know if linebackers is going to get another eligibility. We don't know if Kip's going to leave. So depth at the linebacker position could be an issue. We're going to have to go in the transfer portal, but we still really need to see if those two guys are coming back. But on the defensive line, we're fine. At the defensive back position, we're fine. It's that linebacker position is going to be a concern. And then, of course, play calling. I have no issues with the running backs that we have, with the wide receivers that we have, with the offensive line that we have. Yes, we need to go in the transfer portal and get a tight end. But you got to hire a tight end coach first. If I was a tight end transfer portal, I'm not coming to your school when you don't even have a tight ends coach. So we got to figure that out. So offensive coordinator, tight end, linebackers. Those are area of concerns. I'm way behind in just seeing your response on Odd. I've been the only person on all the other channels who were bashing Odd. I've said numerous times that Odd never got an opportunity. He never got an opportunity. You're right. If you go and look at the runs that he did have, he played very well. Probably getting Jason Witten as a tight ends coach. Now I was watching Parker Thune today. I watch a lot of these other guys because I'm not an insider and I don't cover recruiting. So I like to go to those guys and get my recruiting news. And that's why I don't come on here and talk to you guys about recruiting. I've said this before. The information that I give you guys, this is from my own knowledge. I don't cover recruiting because I would have to go get the information from them and then bring it to you guys. That doesn't make sense. That's not authentic. That's faking. We're not gonna do that. I mean, I could do some recruiting videos where I do some reactions and stuff like that. I'm thinking about doing that. But as far as just giving updated recruiting news, I'm not gonna say nobody's name. I'm gonna leave that alone. But Jason Witten, that would be a good get. But Jason Witten's got a cushy job right now. He is not an OU guy. Witten went to Tennessee, didn't he? But he's got a cushy job right now in which he just won a state championship. He's doing very well. Do I think he'll come to the University of Oklahoma? It would be an upgrade in pay. I don't know what he's getting paid, but I just don't see it happening. I don't see it happening. I don't blame him for checking out. Yep, that's on the coaching staff. Exactly. That's what I said earlier. All right, guys, it's 8:48, almost 2 hours. I hope you guys enjoyed the live. Like I said, I'm gonna plan on doing more of this every Friday. So once I drop a video or two during the week, we'll come on. We'll get to some of the comments and we'll talk about stuff that's going on. And I'll read the comments like I kind of did in the chat today. And I want to just respond to you guys live and just kind of give you my feedback and have an actual conversation with you. I don't mind doing that. And like I said, I also want to bring some of you guys in. So we might add the link. And I got to get with Jason from Hall of Fame Sports so he can show me how to do it. So we can add the link and have people rotate in and give me their 2 cents. We're probably limited to about 5 minutes so we can get as many people in as possible because you guys actually make this channel. I come on and I talk, but if it wasn't for you guys being in the comments responding, I'd be talking to myself and I'd probably be uninterested. I talk to myself enough here at home. So I truly appreciate you guys because this channel would not be anything if you guys weren't in the comments doing that. And continue to tell your friends and other OU people about the channel like you guys been doing. I appreciate it. 960 subscribers, man. The next milestone is 1,000. We're trying to get there. I've seen other channels that came after me and already have 1,000. And it's sad because they suck. I'll just play it, man. I'm gonna cut it out. But once again, man, It's still horns down. Love you guys. Happy New Year. And I wish much blessings upon you guys, good health for 2026, and all the money you can make. It's still horns down. Boomer. I wish I had the music to play, man. Boom, boom.